Hi everyone, sorry I'm not there today. Please feel free to pause the video at any time if you have questions, and I can answer any questions as soon as I'm back tomorrow. So let's begin. So no warm-up today. So make sure your homework is out. So we're going to check that next. Here are your homework answers. Once again, pause if you need to spend more time looking at those. Here are the problems in case you want to pause it and go through one of those. And today's lesson is all about construction. So the first thing we're going to do is just practice using your compass. So go ahead and make 3 different circles with your compasses. I do have compasses at the front of the room, so if you don't have yours with you, which is totally fine, you may borrow one, please make sure you return them. So you're going to start by putting a dot on your paper with your pencil, and then opening your compass up in order to make a circle. In fact, let's see, so here's my compass. So you're going to put the tip right on the center, open the compass up, and then rotate by drawing, going all the way around. If you are successful at not moving your compass, the circle should be perfect. Sometimes it moves a little bit, so just be careful. And then just do that again. Take your pen, make a mark for the center, move your compass so that the tip is right at the center, open up your compass so it's a different size than the previous circle you made, and draw another one. And then do that one more time. One thing that you need to remember always is that an entire circle is not always needed when we're doing constructions. And sometimes it's significant to use just part, or sufficient, excuse me, to use just part of a circle. And this is called an arc. And never, ever, ever erase your construction marks. So what are constructions? Constructions are what we make using only a straight edge and a compass. There is no measuring with a ruler. There is no measuring an angle with a protractor. It's simply what we can make using these primitive tools. So the first thing we're going to do is copying a line segment. So the steps to copying a line segment are as follows. First, draw a long line segment, longer than the one that we are given. 2, use the compass to measure the given segment. 3, swing a little arc to mark the length. So what do I mean by that? We're going to take our compass, we're going to put the tip, oh, I forgot the first direction, sorry. First thing I said to do was to draw that long, long line segment, right? Draw that one first. Okay, now we need to measure. So tip goes here, open up your compass, and you're using your compass as a measuring device right now, see? That is measuring. I'm not looking, don't look at these numbers that are displayed on mine, but I'm using that to say, okay, this is how long my segment is. Then I move it down to the long segment I drew, tip on the end, and I make a little arc. And now I have copied the line segment. They are the same length and measure. So what tool do we use to measure length in a construction? We don't use a ruler, we use a compass. Next, we're going to make a congruent angle. We're going to copy an angle. So what do I mean by copying an angle? I'm going to make an angle that has the exact same measure. So the angle has the same measure. So step number 1, we draw a ray. Step number 2, we are going to make an arc on both the angle. So we'll start with that. Open this up a little bit. This part doesn't matter how big. Just make sure that when you swing it, it touches both rays of the given angle. Now, without moving the compass, move it to the line you just drew and swing an arc. Now, this would be bad because it's not big enough. I have to make sure that I swing it enough so that I know when I go to make the second part that my ray will hit that arc I just made. All right, so I drew my long ray, I swung an arc here, I swung the same arc here. Pause and rewind if you need to. All right, my next step is I have to measure again. What am I measuring? I have to measure the distance from here. Let's see, I gotta measure the distance from here to, I gotta turn this here. All right, so see how I've measured the arc opening, or the angle opening right on my arc? So now, without moving this, I'm gonna do the same measurement. I gotta spin mine around. It's actually easier just to do this on paper than it is on the smartboard. All right, so I put the tip on the intersection and I swing. So think about what I did here. Since I measured this and I made it the same length as this swing now, I've actually made my congruent angle. So I'm going to take my straight edge, and your straight edge is an index card or the side of your calculator. It's not a ruler. You can use a ruler, but you're not measuring. You just want something that will make a straight line. And there you go. I have copied my angle. So here are the steps to copying an angle. And I'm going to go through the next example, labeling everything as I have it here so that you're able to see exactly what's happening. You're welcome to do the steps with me, or you're welcome to watch and then try it and pause it and then try it on your own. All right, so step number 1. I'm going to draw arc B prime, C prime. And I don't have to have it positioned the same way as the original, so I'm just going to draw it down here. And then I'm going to put a mark. So this is B prime, this is going to be C prime. So B prime, C prime. Next, I'm going to swing that arc so it intersects both, whoops, rays. So I put the tip there, I open this up, and I swing. Whoops, that didn't work. And I swing. I want the same arc length here, so I don't change my compass size, and I swing. Where I intersected the original angle, I'm going to call them angle E, not angle E, sorry, point E and point D. And I forgot to mention this is point B, point A is up here, and point C is up here. And I'm just gonna put some points so you actually see the point. These points are arbitrary as long as they're in the about the right spot, so that I have ray AB and ray BC. All right, so I have everything labeled now like I should have before. Remember, I swung the arc here, and I did the same one here. And now I'm going to measure the distance of this arc at E and D. So I've got to open this up a little bit. The more accurate this is, the more precise my angle is going to be. And once again, I think it's a lot easier to do this by hand, but unfortunately I got to do it here so you see it. All right, so there we go. I have it measured. So now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put this here, and I've got to swing an arc. And it would be silly for me to swing all of this. So I'm just going to move my compass like this, and I'm going to swing it. So I just make a little mark here. I don't need that whole, you know what I mean? I don't need to swing it all the way like this. Like that's so unnecessary. I just need to swing this little bit here. All right, and I told you never erase construction marks. So I'm gonna leave that, but I really didn't have to do all that. All right, now I'm going to connect through there, and I've made a congruent angle. To finish off my labeling, the intersection here would be E prime, and this would be A prime. And I'm done. So either pause to do it yourself, or if you did it with me, then we can move on. All right, so let's do it again. Step 1, draw a ray. Step 2, swing an arc. So I'm going to open this up, whoops. Open this up, swing. Do the same thing here. Swing. Make sure you swing enough so that's going to hit. If I stopped here and didn't have all this, it probably wouldn't hit the other ray when I draw it. Next, going to take this and measure, spin it around, make it easier on myself. Let's see. So there, measuring the opening. Whoops, I did not mean to write. You probably already did this, and I'm still struggling with this compass. Let's see. Almost. Ah, there we go. Got it. So I got my measurement. I come over here. And now I'm not changing my compass size, right? I'm keeping it the same. And once again, I don't have to swing the arc so big. I just need it to cross here. So I'm just going to do a cross mark here, and I'm good. Move it out of the way. From the vertex of the angle through the intersection, I now have congruent angles. I copied my given angle. Next, what does it mean to bisect a segment? It means to create two equal segments. So if I want to bisect this, the steps are actually pretty easy. I take my compass and I put the point on the end. I then open my compass so that it's more than halfway. And I swing an arc. And this arc is going to be a semicircle. And then I do it again on this side. And I don't change it. It's got to be the same compass opening, the same measure. And now that I've done my two semicircles, I simply draw my bisecting segment. Whoops. Using that straight edge, right? Either the side of your calculator or an index card. Boom, there it is. Now, not only is this a bisecting segment, it's actually a perpendicular bisector, which means that this is 90 degrees, and so are all the other angles. So I actually created a perpendicular bisector. All right, so here are the steps. Read them, and I'm going to go through them slowly on below there. So it says bisect the given line segment. And we're giving this a name of AB. So AB. Those are my endpoints. And what you're going to do is, just as I said before, take your compass, put the tip on the end, open it up so that it is more than halfway. Whoops, too far. Swing a semicircle. And then repeat. I'm going to bring it up here so the tip is here. Oh, doesn't like that. It's too high up. Oh, come on. and then I'm going to swing my semicircle. Once I do that, I draw my perpendicular bisector through the two intersection points, and I've created a perpendicular bisector. These two pieces are congruent, and this would be the midpoint, and then this is also 90 degrees because it's a perpendicular bisector. And we're going to label this intersection C and this intersection point D. So we would say that CD is a perpendicular bisector to AB. Do it again. Whoops, grab my compass. Grab it quick. All right, first step. I open it up more than half, swing a semicircle, and then I do it again. And I swing a semicircle. I could have went all the way around, but it's unnecessary. I just need those half circles. And then I draw my perpendicular bisector. I'm a little off. I'll scoop mine over. Whoops. Oh, not that. And ta-da, there it is, my perpendicular bisector, 90 degrees. All right, last one. And it is bisecting a given angle. So what does it mean to bisect an angle? I'm going to create two equal angles from my given one. And once again, these steps aren't too bad. You're going to need to practice these, though. If you just learn it once, you're not going to remember it again. So you definitely have to practice. All right, so steps to creating or bisecting an angle. First thing you do is open up your compass to any given length with the tip on the vertex, swing an arc. Next, you take your compass and you're going to move it where the intersection points are, and you're going to swing another arc. It's so important that these past two arcs I just swung are the same size. So I take my point and I put them where that first arc intersected, and then I swing two different arcs. Next, I'm essentially done. I draw my bisecting segment from the vertex through the intersection of these arcs. And that's it. So then I get that this angle is congruent to this angle. And that's it. Let's do it again. So here are the instructions. Read them. They're in your note packet, so you can look at them. And I'm going to do the steps right here. So we're given, this is vertex L. And my first step is to take my compass, whoops, put the point on the vertex, open it up. I'm going to change the color. Let's do pink again. And I'm going to swing an arc. It's going to intersect what I'm going to call point A and point B. Then I take my compass again, put the tip here, swing an arc, put the tip at B, swing the same size arc, draw your line segment through. And I'm done. And I'm going to name this intersection C. And that's it. LC bisects these two angles, which are now congruent. So ALC is congruent to CLB. One last time, here are the steps. Take your compass, put the tip, there we go. Put the tip on the vertex, open your compass up, swing an arc, Where they intersect, you're going to, each ray, you're going to take the tip and put that there and swing and do it again and swing. Now, if they don't intersect, because this was getting kind of close, they did, but if they don't intersect, that means you should have opened your compass up a little more. And then draw the bisecting line segment from the vertex through where they intersect, and you're done. You have two congruent angles. All right, so recap for you. Your compass and your straight edge are the only things you're allowed to use when constructing constructions. And the other thing is you never, ever, ever erase any of your marks for a construction. We need to see every single mark that you're making to know that you're truly using those instruments and that you're not using anything else to help you create, copy an angle, bisect an angle, copy a line segment, or bisect a line segment. All right, so that's it for today. I hope everything went well. Your homework is day 2-5 homework sheet, so day 5 homework, and I will see you tomorrow. There probably is still some time in class, so feel free to rewind the video or watch it again if there's something you didn't understand. It makes you help each other. And please make sure that all my rulers, my straight edges, which are index cards, and my compasses get returned. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.